Hey everyone, welcome to Home is Where the Heart is. I'm Allie, your host and fellow military kid. I'm building this community as part of my Girl Scout Gold Award project to make sure no military kid has to navigate this life alone. My goal is to create a lasting space for us to find our footing no matter where the map takes us next. This is a spot where we can connect and share advice about all the highs, lows, and messy in between of life on the move. And if you're not a military kid, you're still welcome. Gain some empathy and learn something new. So, if you've ever packed your life into a box, survived your first day at a new school, or wondered what it's like to do those things, you're in the right place. Because here, home isn't just a place, it's where your heart is. So, today we have my friend Ella.
Hey guys.
Ella is very unique because she is fully involved in the military community, but she's not quite a military kid. So Ella, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Ella. I'm going to be a senior at Ramstein High School in located on Ramstein Air Base in Germany. So as Ali said, I'm a little bit different than most military kids of what you would think of. So usually they'll like move around every 2 years, 3 years, whatever their parents' jobs makes them do. But I'm a little different. So my parents are teachers. So they are contracted by the military to teach on military bases to the military kids that parents are stationed there. So I get to stay in places for a really long time. So I was born on Okinawa, Japan, on the naval air base there, or the naval base there, and then my parents got transferred to Ramstein, and I've been there ever since. So I've lived there for about 17 years, which is it definitely gets some wide eyes when I'm telling people about it.
Yeah, because what's the first thing people say? They're like, "Oh, so you're German."
Yeah. I'm definitely not. I'm fully American, guys. Don't worry. I just happen to live in Germany.
Yeah, so where is like I would say what would you consider your home? And people say where are you from? What do you say to that?
Um, Honestly, it's a little bit hard because I just say like, "Oh, I live in Germany," and then I tell them like my parents work in the military. I give them my whole spiel. But honestly, I've never really felt connected to a place because I've never lived in the States. So we have family all across the states. Like majority of my family is in Ohio, so we come back to Ohio a lot to visit family, but it doesn't ever really feel like home because I'm only here for like a month and then I'm back in Germany. But it's a different aspect, and that's why it kind of sets me apart because I don't fully blend in with the military community, but I don't fully like blend in with the regular like your regular civilian. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's definitely like people say that about military kids all the time. They're like, oh, where are you from? And then military kids like, oh, it's so traumatic. I've lived in 10 places, but you're like, you don't fit even in that category. So there's a very small
Yeah.
community of people just like you. So that's got to be like even more unique because you don't have people who are like, oh, I got you. Like, so I think
Yeah.
that's like a
It's I'm
very
very much like
special.
yeah. I'm very much like by myself in my own category.
So, how does it feel to have your friends moving in and out? So, you live in Germany. So, do you have people who've lived with you all 17 years, or have you always been in a constant influx of people and friends and etc.?
So there is like sometimes I'll have people that stay a while. Um, but usually if they have the choice to, they'll move back to the States. Like their parents are teachers, but their parents like, oh, like I got another job offer in the States, we're gonna go. Or they have an older sibling that goes to college in the States, so they go back and follow them. But it's bittersweet. I become best friends with people and they move in a year. So
Hmm.
it's really hard and you kind of learn to make fast attachments and keep them, but it's hard because they're moving to a new place, they need to fit in there. So they kind of pack their lives up and move and I'm kind of just left there. But it is exciting because you never know who you're going to meet. Like I could walk into school first day and there's going to be like 100 new people I've never seen before. and I get to like become friends with and have the opportunity to like cross paths with them. And it's also really cool because I've lived here so long, I get to see people come back. So one of my friends right now, she used to live here in elementary school. We were in the same class, and then she moved away to the States, like bounced around to different bases, and now she's back and we're going to go into our senior year together. So it's never the same, and you can never fully expect what's going to happen, but that's what just makes it more exciting.
Yeah, and do you remember how I lived in Korea and I had a friend in fifth and sixth grade, and you also knew her because she
Yes.
lived in Germany. And then one day
Yeah.
it came up in conversation. I was like, "Oh, so and so," and you were like, "Wait, wait." And then turns out we actually
Yeah.
knew the same person. And like
I
that's the kind
know.
of
It's
small world thing.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Like
those are really cool.
you wouldn't ever think it would be like a small world thing, but the military community, as weird as it sounds, is a small community and there's only so many bases. So people bounce around and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you knew so and so?" "Yeah, we were like best friends, blah blah blah." "Oh my gosh, like me too." And it becomes a new way to make a connection.
Yeah, and that's really exciting. So, when you like ever introduce yourself to people, do people assume that you're a military kid, or do you correct them, or you just let them like have the assumption because you're like too much work to clarify
Um,
exactly?
it honestly depends. So people are like, "Oh, like how long have you been here?" And I say like, "Oh, like 17 years." They kind of like give me this weird look. And sometimes they'll ask like, "Oh my gosh, why?" And other times they'll be like, "Oh, like okay, cool." It
Yeah.
and so if they ask why, I'll be like, "Oh, my parents are teachers, blah 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 blah." But it honestly just depends on the person and the situation.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's like interesting, like I said, that you're part of like the one niche that's like in like you're not a civilian,
Mm-hmm.
but like technically you are, but you have all these characteristics of a military kid. And then
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I still don't know where my home is, like just like y'all. Um, so you live in Germany and that's so cool. I wish I still did. But what do you like about Germany? Like, let's talk about your school. Your like you already said, it's really cool to have all the exciting new connections. But like, what do you love? What do you hate? What do you wish you had?
Yeah. So I love my school. I get the full American experience. Get to, like I don't have to deal with the German school system, which gets to be a little messy. But it's definitely hard because I step off base, and yeah, the Germans can speak American, but there's a
I
little bit of
speak
gap.
American.
Mind you, I'm yeah, speak English. American, they call it American,
Sorry.
blah blah blah. But yeah, but mind you, I'm fluent in German, so I've because I've lived in Germany for so long. So it's not as hard, but it is a little bit weird because I've been told I have an accent when I speak. So to a normal person on the base, I sound great. They like, "Oh my gosh, your German is so good." And then I step off base and they're like I'll speak German to them and they'll respond back in English and I'm like, "Okay, cool." So
Oh,
there's
my
a little
heart.
bit of this like there's a little bit of like a balance that you have to like, okay, like it's a little weird. It's hard to like explain, but it's definitely a little weird, but you get all these cool experiences out of it. Like I can drive a half hour and I'm in France.
Oh,
Like you can't do that anywhere else. And we go skiing in Austria every year for Christmas break. Like these are not normal things and we sound so like bougie for saying it. Like yeah, like I ski in Austria, I go to France, blah blah blah. It's honestly the same as you going to another state. Like it's our norm, but it just sounds so different from an outside perspective.
mhm.
And it definitely has its ups and downs. Usually it's up. Like I love living in Germany. It's so much fun. But the certain aspects like the sports are difficult and for me I have aspirations college and the route that I have to take is so much different than people in the states would. So you have to kind of seek out your own. Like you have teams like sports connected to the high school where you get to play at the other bases, which is great. But again, it's such a
Mm.
small population that's this military community, so you don't get the same level that you would back in the states. So if you do want to play at a higher level, you have to search out different pockets of where you live, like off base on the economy to where you can like develop and become a better like sports player.
Yeah, and especially the military teams, the kids change like every year practically too. So maybe one
Yeah.
year you have a
So
full
it's
volleyball
never the
team, the
same.
next year it's half the size, you know? So let's
Yeah.
talk
You
about
honestly
your
never know.
yeah, let's talk about your unique sports path. So what are you doing after high school and how were you able to get there?
Yeah, so I am verbally committed to play at John Carroll University. So I will be playing volleyball there when I go to college. But normally people in the States, they're connected. They have a club team and they have a high school team. And majority of the recruiting for volleyball comes from your club team. You'll have these huge tournaments, hundreds of teams come out. So of course, a bunch of college coaches are going to flock there and like scope out the different prospects. But I don't get that. Like they're not going to fly 3,000 miles to watch some random girl play volleyball in Germany. Like that's just not
Hmm.
realistic and it's not going to happen. So my way of recruiting, I had to video everything and edit everything to create these highlight clips that showcase every single skill that I can do that you're going to normally see during a game. But obviously they're not going to see me because I live in Germany. So I have to,
Hmm.
and I've sent out over 300 emails to college coaches, just putting myself out there like, hey, this is me. Check me out. Here's my film. I want to play college volleyball. Like, I would love the opportunity. Sometimes they
Hmm.
stick, sometimes you get no response. Sometimes people reply with, hey, you're not what we're looking for. I've even gotten, no, we don't want international kids, which it's hard to correct them because if you take it verbatim, I am an international kid, but I'm also an American. So it's weird. But if you are willing to put the time in and it's like you have a goal that you want to achieve,
Hmm.
it's possible.
Yeah, and congratulations, by the way. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, it's just really exciting that despite you literally had to put yourself out there hundreds of times, like literally, and you
Yeah.
sometimes get no response, and um that just speaks to like, if you're dedicated enough. But you're not just a volleyball player. What other sports do you do at school and at club? Let's hear the grocery
Yeah.
list.
So yeah. I grew up playing every single sport imaginable. My parents put me in every CYS sport that they could. Some of them stuck. Some of them I was like, please don't ever make me do this again. And the sports I ended up doing are swimming. I'm a competitive swimmer, and track and field, which I started doing in high school. And then also, I, as Allie has a nickname for me, Miss CrossFit. I also do CrossFit as a part of my cross training. I still have that shirt. I still
Aww.
have it.
I
Yeah.
made Ella a shirt that said Miss CrossFit on it, and she wore it to
Yes.
CrossFit. It was great.
Oh, I did. I did. 100%.
So what made you decide to pursue college volleyball rather than swimming? Because if I remember correctly, you're also a super excellent swimmer, and you've been swimming for how many years?
Oh my gosh. Since third grade, so almost 9 years, which is
Yeah.
crazy to think about. But they're two very different sports. Like swimming, it's you versus you essentially. Like, how hard are you willing to go and how much are you willing to give in the water?
Hmm.
And you're also racing other people who want to beat you. So it's different. And then volleyball is very much like team. Like, I'm relying on you to do your job and you to do your job, and you're relying on me to do my job so we can get this point and win this game. So they're two very different aspects, and it's an individual sport and a team sport.
Hmm.
I personally love the team sport more. I love the community that volleyball brings and the fact that I'm with a team. We respect each other, we love each other, we become best friends, and we all get to play the game that we love. Don't get me wrong, I love swim, but sometimes swim sucks and it doesn't bring me the same joy that volleyball does.
That makes total sense. So volleyball is just more of attractive for your soul rather than
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you have the athletics to pursue swimming, I'm sure. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've
that
gotten
makes total
offers for
sense.
swimming, but
Right. So you swim for a club, right? So
yeah.
how do
So
you recommend? Yeah, go ahead.
oh, there's a team that's connected with the high school, and each one of the bases has a team, and we get
Mhm.
to swim for them. And like we get a varsity letter, we get score points, we get to go to these huge meets in like London and Spain and Italy and the Netherlands. It's crazy. Like I can't believe I have the opportunity to travel to
Yeah.
another country for swim. It's crazy.
Yeah, and most people travel to like the next county over for their volleyball tournament or
Yeah.
their track meet. So, do you want to explain what Euros is and how that works? Because that's a very also
Yeah.
unique, fun thing.
Yeah. So usually in the States, you get like in the US, you have like your school and your region and you play each other and win, and then you move on, you move on, you move on. We can't really have that because there's only like 10 schools. They break it up by division. So there's D1, D2, D3 schools. It's just based on like funding and how many kids you have. So my school is in the D1 division, and there's only like 10 schools in that division that we can play. So we have what is called Europeans, and we all the teams travel to one spot. Is at the end of the season, everyone's like so hyped. It's honestly like best part of my season. I make so many memories there. Like I genuinely love it so much. But we all play each other bracket pool, and then based on the amount of wins you have, you move on until you get into the finals. Which this year we got to the finals and we won, which was an incredible experience. But
Yeah,
yeah, each one
absolutely.
of the sports has their
Congratulations.
own. Yeah, thank you. Each one of their sports has their own Euros. It's different for every sport, but it follows the same line.
Yeah, and that's really cool. So it's like your own like American, German American,
Mm-hmm.
overseas American, high school experience, which is really
Yeah.
cool. Um, what's one thing that you would say to either military kids or perhaps people who are in a similar situation to you? Maybe they're military adjacent and also not totally civilian, but technically, and then all these qualities of a military child. Like, what's some advice that you have for people, either incoming seniors or coming into high school, moving overseas for the first time, etc.?
Yeah. Put yourself out there. Like it's going to be scary. Life is scary, but you're going to love it no matter what. You won't regret anything. Like put yourself out there. Talk to a person you would never normally talk to because you never know. They could be extremely cool. And
Like
honestly,
you.
just yeah, I mean, what can I say? But just like get involved in something. If you're not a sports person, get involved in the club. It's a great way to meet people, and it really like helps you make long lasting friends. And it's a great opportunity to like first day jitters, and you're like, okay, like I'll go do a sport, I'll go do a club. Within a week, you're gonna have like 10 new friends because everyone's so welcoming. You honestly don't have to be scared of anything. Like you will not be left. Like your greatest fear may be like, oh my gosh, like it's my first day of school here. Like I'm gonna have to sit alone at lunch. Like I don't know anyone. That's not the case. Everyone that goes to these schools has had to go through what you're going through, and everyone's so empathetic that they're like, oh my gosh, like she's sitting alone, like hey, like come over here, come sit with us. So we're all so
Absolutely.
welcoming. Like you don't get those like cliques like mean girl, the jocks, because everyone's so like they're just moving in and out all the time that they're just like, hey everyone, like how you doing? And you just create lasting friendships and memories that they last forever, and you're gonna always remember them and look back on them.
Yeah, and I remember you did literally the same thing to me, like in seventh grade. You're like, hey, like what's going on? Come sit with me. Which is so cool, and it really speaks to your character and your resilience. And it's really cool that you made a beautiful path and trajectory with the cards that you were dealt, and you've really like taken advantage and made the best of your experience overseas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of all the questions I've got for you. Do you have anything else that you want to add?
Honestly, no, just don't be afraid. Like, take the risk. You won't regret it. And if you're not affiliated with the military, take this as a sign to be nice to everyone. Like, you never know what they're going to be going through. You never know what may have happened. If they're sitting alone at lunch, go sit with them. Like, I guarantee you won't have a new friend that's going to be eternally grateful for you.
And that's so sweet. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ella. So I'm Allie, and this was Ella. Thank you for watching today. You can watch our video on YouTube, and our audio is going to be on Spotify. You can follow me on Instagram at thatmilteen and check out the link in my bio for all of my links. If you want to share your story, you can email me at thatmilteen@gmail.com and fill out a Google form to help show the impact of my Gold Award. So thank you so much today, Ella, and I'll see you next time.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye!